You know, if you're over 55, you don't have to carry the weight of regrets as you age. I'm 70 now, and I've stumbled upon 7 life lessons I dearly wish I'd known back at your age. Lessons that can fill your days with more joy, deeper wisdom, and a real sense of fulfillment. Stick with me, because I'm going to share them with you today. Have you ever found yourself wondering how to dodge life's little traps, or maybe how to find a bit more peace in your heart? If that sounds like you, then this video is made for you. Today I'm opening up about 7 lessons that changed my life after 55. Hard-earned wisdom that's simple, powerful, and ready for you to use right now. I'll walk you through each one with practical tips you can start today. So, let's dive into this together, shall we? The first lesson I want to share is all about letting go of grudges. Oh, I learned this one the hard way. Back when I was 55, I was holding on to this heavy knot of anger from a falling out with a dear friend. We'd been close for years, but a misunderstanding drove a wedge between us, and I just couldn't let it go. That bitterness, it was like carrying a backpack full of rocks. It stole my peace, clouded my days, and left me feeling drained. For a long time, I thought forgiving her meant saying what she did was okay, but I was so wrong. Forgiving is about freeing yourself from that weight. By the time I hit 60, I was tired of feeling that way. One quiet evening, I sat down with a notebook and wrote her a letter. Not to send, I didn't even have her address anymore, but to pour out all the hurt and frustration I'd been carrying. I wrote about the good times, the bad, and everything in between. When I was done, I folded that letter up and tucked it away. It was like I'd lifted a massive stone off my chest. I could breathe again. That simple act of letting go gave me back my peace. Now, I know grudges can feel justified, especially after 55, when life's taught you a thing or two about hurt. But holding on to them only hurts you more. I read somewhere that resentment can raise your stress levels and even take a toll on your heart. Literally. Why do that to yourself? So here's something you can try today. Grab a piece of paper and write down who you're angry with and why. Don't hold back. Just let it all out. Then, when you're done, do something symbolic. Tear that paper into tiny pieces, or if you're feeling a bit dramatic, burn it safely in a fireplace or a metal bowl. It's not about them. It's about you letting go. If writing's not your thing, maybe consider a conversation, if it's possible and feels right, not to rehash old fights, but to clear the air and move forward. I had a friend who did this with her sister after years of silence, and she told me it was like getting her family back. Your heart will thank you for this, I promise. Letting go of that grudge saved my peace, and I know it can save yours too. Now, let's talk about the second lesson, putting your health first. And I mean right now, not someday down the road. When I was 55, I thought I was unstoppable. Aches and pains, I'd shrug them off. Doctor's appointments, I'd skip them, thinking, I'm fine. But by 58, life gave me a wake-up call I couldn't ignore. My blood pressure was creeping up, and my doctor sat me down for a serious talk. It scared me, I'll admit. That was the moment I realized I couldn't keep ignoring my body. So I started small. I committed to walking 20 minutes a day, just around my neighborhood, nothing fancy. I added more vegetables to my meals, even if it was just tossing some spinach into my eggs. And I made a point to schedule my annual checkups. No excuses. Those little changes added up. Now, at 70, I feel stronger, more energized, and honestly, more alive than I did at 60. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up for yourself. Your body is your home, and it's the only one you've got for this life. After 55, the small habits you build, like drinking more water, stretching for a few minutes in the morning, or getting enough sleep, can make such a big difference. They can add years to your life and life to your years. Here's a tip to get started. Pick one health goal this week. Maybe it's taking a 15-minute walk every evening or cutting out sugary drinks for a few days. It doesn't have to be a huge leap, just something small that feels doable. I met a woman at my community center, 68 years old, who started drinking a glass of water first thing every morning. That's it. She said it kick-started her energy and helped her stay hydrated all day. Tiny steps like that can lead to big changes. The key is to start now, not after a scare like I had. Don't wait for your body to send you a warning signal. Let's keep this conversation going with the next few lessons that truly changed my life after 55. These are the kind of insights that make you wish you'd known them sooner. But the good news is, it's never too late to start. So grab a cozy spot, maybe a cup of tea, and let's dive into the next 3 lessons that can bring more peace and joy to your days. The third lesson is learning to say no without feeling guilty. Back when I was 55, I was a bit of a people pleaser. If someone asked me for a favor or invited me to an event, I'd say yes, even if it meant stretching myself thin. I thought that's what you did to be kind, but honestly, it left me exhausted. By the time I was 62, I realized my time and energy were too precious to spread so thin. I remember a friend who kept asking for help with her projects, endless little tasks that ate up my weekends. One day, I gently told her I couldn't take on more. Instead of losing her friendship, I gained respect, and I got my weekends back to spend on things I loved, like tending my garden. Saying no wasn't selfish. It was about protecting my peace. If you're over 55, you might feel like you have to say yes to everyone, family, friends, neighbors. But your energy isn't endless, and that's okay. Here's a simple trick to try. When someone asks you for something, don't answer right away. Instead say, "Let me check my calendar and get back to you." It gives you a moment to think about what you really want to do. When you're ready to say no, keep it kind but firm. Like, "I'd love to help, but I'm stretched a bit thin right now." Setting those boundaries frees you up to focus on what lights you up. I promise, it's liberating to give yourself that permission. Try it this week, and you'll feel the difference. Now let's move on to the 4th lesson. Don't shy away from solitude. Embrace it. When I was 55, the thought of being alone scared me. My kids had moved out, and the house felt so quiet. I'd fill my days with noise, TV, phone calls, anything to avoid that stillness. But by 65, I discovered something beautiful about solitude. I started savoring quiet mornings, just me, a cup of coffee, and a good book. Those moments became my sanctuary, a time to reconnect with myself. Solitude isn't about being lonely. It's about getting to know the person you've become after all these years. If you're over 55, you might worry about spending time alone, especially if life feels emptier than it used to. But solitude can be a gift. Here's something to try. Carve out 10 minutes a day to do something you enjoy, just by yourself. Maybe it's journaling your thoughts, listening to your favorite music, or even sitting quietly with a view of the trees. Those small moments build confidence and calm. I met a gentleman at a community class, 70 years old, who started painting in his quiet evenings. He said it wasn't just about the art, it was about rediscovering who he was. Solitude did that for me too, and it can for you. You're never too old to enjoy your own company. Let's talk about the 5th lesson. Stop comparing yourself to others. At 55, I'd look at my friends with their big houses or fancy trips and feel like I was falling behind. It made me feel small, like my life wasn't enough. But by 67, I realized that comparison was stealing my joy. I started focusing on what I had: my health, my loved ones, my cozy little home with its quirky charm. Shifting to gratitude turned everything around. I didn't need a bigger house to feel content. I just needed to see the beauty in what was already mine. Social media can make it so easy to compare, especially when everyone's posting their highlight reels. But that's a trap, and it's toxic. Here's a tip. Every day, write down 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be big. Maybe it's a warm meal, a kind neighbor, or the way the sun hits your window in the morning. This habit pulls your focus back to your own life, not someone else's. I knew a woman, 64, who started doing this after feeling envious of her sister's travels. She told me that gratitude made her realize her own life was full of riches she'd overlooked. After 55, your life is your own story, not a competition. This lesson brought me so much contentment, and I know it can do the same for you. These lessons, saying no, embracing solitude, and letting go of comparison, are like keys to a lighter, happier life. They're not about changing who you are, but about giving yourself permission to live fully in this moment. Pick one to try this week and see how it feels. Small steps like these can lead to such big rewards. We're wrapping up this heartfelt chat with the final 2 lessons that reshaped my life after 55, plus a little nudge to carry this wisdom forward. These lessons are like gentle guides to help you live with more purpose and joy, no matter your age. So let's settle in and explore the last pieces of this journey together. The 6th lesson is to pour your heart into meaningful relationships. When I was 55, I was caught up in the hustle of life, work, errands, you name it. I thought I'd always have time to catch up with the people who mattered. But at 60, I lost a dear friend unexpectedly, and the regret hit hard. I wished I'd made more time for our long talks over coffee, or those silly moments that mean so much. That loss taught me to prioritize connection. Now, I make a point to call my kids regularly, meet friends for a quick lunch, or just chat with a neighbor. Those moments, they're the threads that weave a life worth living. After 55, it's not about having a huge circle of friends. It's about nurturing the ones who truly matter. Here's something you can do this week. Reach out to one person you care about. A sibling, an old friend, maybe a grandkid. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture. Just a phone call, a text, or a quick coffee can strengthen that bond. I knew a man, 66, who started writing short notes to his daughter every month, just to share a memory or say he was proud of her. He said it brought them closer than ever. Relationships are your legacy, and they grow stronger with small, intentional moments. Don't wait to show the people in your life that you care. Now, let's talk about the 7th lesson. Never stop learning, no matter how many candles are on your birthday cake. At 55, I thought I'd learned all I needed to know. Life was comfortable, predictable. But at 65, I decided to shake things up. I signed up for a painting class and started reading about mindfulness, things I'd never tried before. It wasn't just about picking up new skills. It was about keeping my mind curious and my heart open. Painting gave me a way to express myself, and those mindfulness books taught me to savor the little moments. Learning keeps you vibrant, like you're growing into a new version of yourself. You don't have to go big. Learning can be simple and joyful. Try this. Pick one new thing to explore this month. Maybe it's a cookbook to try a new recipe, a podcast about history, or even a YouTube tutorial on knitting. The point is to find something that sparks a little excitement. I met a woman at my library, 72, who started learning about local birds. She'd sit in her backyard with a guidebook, spotting cardinals and sparrows. And she said it made her feel like a kid again. That's what learning does. It keeps your spirit young. This lesson lights up my days at 70, and it can do the same for you. Now, let's bring it all together. These 7 lessons, letting go of grudges, prioritizing your health, saying no without guilt, embracing solitude, stopping comparison, nurturing relationships, and keeping your mind curious, have been my roadmap to a fuller, happier life after 55. They're not about turning your world upside down. It's about making small, meaningful changes that add up over time. Think about which one resonates with you the most. Maybe it's reaching out to a friend you've missed, or trying a new hobby. Pick one to start with this week and watch how it ripples through your days. Small steps like these can lead to such beautiful rewards. Before we part ways, I want to hear from you. Which of these lessons spoke to your heart? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one, and I love hearing your stories. If this video brought you a bit of inspiration, give it a like and hit that subscribe button for more wisdom to carry you through the years. And hey, there's another video waiting for you with tips on aging with grace and confidence. Check it out next. Thank you for spending this time with me. You're the reason I'm here, sharing these moments, and I'm so grateful for you.